Usually people is not content with simple waiting. They try to find something to distract themselves. Just simply wait and do nothing to feel the passing of time. That is meditation. It doesn't matter whether you are still or moving. No matter what you are doing, the time is passing the same. Second by second, moment by moment. This is impermanence. Meditation is not to do something special, just simply to feel the reality, the passing of time. The reality is passing away second by second. You can just move or look around normally, but you can feel the time is passing in the background. The whole world is passing away like this. Meditation object is a tool to cultivate the mind. It's not the aim of our meditation. We don't need to defend the meditation object. We don't need to defend the mind and keep it peaceful, no thoughts. And this is not the aim of our meditation. We are here to learn the reality, how to make your mind non-disturbing. Don't disturb the nature, the reality. Just know as it is. That means we learn how to simply wait. Just wait and feel the time passing. For those who are not content with the simply waiting, they will try to look for some sensual stimulus. Try to look at something, hear something, or think something. For the mind, simply knows. It just feels the passing of time, second by second. No matter what you are doing, no matter how you live, you are living in the time. You are living in the impermanence. Try to combine such kind of observation into your daily life. Make it normal, make it casual. And not just being mindful when you are in a cross-legged position. Okay, let's start the meditation. Actually, we have started already.
Yeah, thank you, Ajahn. Sorry for disturbing. So before we start, let us bow 3 times to the triple jam all together. Ajali, Vandana, Abhivandana. Ajali, Vandana, Abhivandana. Ajali, Vandana, Abhivandana. Ajali, Vandana. So, morning and welcome everyone to join us once again. And let's thank Ajahn Yiu for the precious time as well as his precious teaching. And also the other people who make this happen, like Mechi Fafa, Freddy, and everyone else. So let me remind everyone once again that we are recording this section and we're going to share it on YouTube later. So if you have anything too private to share openly, you could stay behind and let's have a more private and personal chat with Ajahn a bit later. So thank you very much, and please, Ajahn.
So we continue our waiting meditation. Just sit here and wait until the meditation session ends. We are not to try to do anything more than this, right? Just feel the passing of time. Learn how to be content with the phenomenon of impermanence. Relax your mind. And meditation is not so stressful. And don't make it too ceremonial. Otherwise, you'll be stuck by the external appearance of meditation. It is just normal living at the present moment. Actually, we should be doing this all the time. Relax your brain in the breathing. But such relaxation is not a command to the brain. But on the other hand, it is on the opposite. It is a kind of withdrawing ourselves from the role of master. We are not to control the brain. Just step back and be a humble knower. The brain is stressed because we are controlling it all the time. We are using it all the time. And now it's time for it to take a rest. So withdraw back your hand. Don't stir up the water again. Be mindful in every moment, just to prevent yourself to control, just to prevent yourself to be deluded into the role of master. You are not doing something in the brain. You are to prevent yourself to do something or do anything. Just surrender this body and brain to the nature. You are not to own anything. Just to wait for the time passing away and keep yourself non-disturbing. And then this person and this body and mind will settle down itself. And this is what we call meditation, pacifying the mind. Actually, it is a process to learn how to be non-doing, thinking, or liking, disliking. These are all doings. And who is doing all this? Who is making ourselves agitated, scatter-minded? It is because of our delusion of being a master, delusion of ego. To feel the brain area and relax it, you need to give it a space to cool down, to settle down. The tiredness of the brain is the natural result of agitation. And what can we do on this? And this is the nature. This is cause and effect. So we need to accept the phenomena. This is the natural result. Just leave it there and take a rest. And keep your hands non-disturbing. Don't bother with the brain now. Just leave it there. There will be some feelings happen in the brain area. Some kinds of tightness, dullness, tiredness. These are just feelings. It, it is belong to the brain, belong to the body. Just let it happen. And keep yourself awake, detached. Just stand aside and be a knower to this. You can give it a good wish, a good view. May you take a good rest, have a good sleep in the breathing. Just like patting on a crying baby. And let it have a good sleep. every breath of you is just like a warm, warm blessing to the brain. Every breath is a loving kindness to the brain. Be friendly to your brain. And also your eyes too. Usually we accumulate a lot of stress around the eyes area. Feel it, release it, and let it relax. Just like ice, a piece of ice melting under the sunshine. We just keep shine on the brain, with, and the ice will melt itself. Our awareness, our knowing, just like the sunshine, just shed the light on the brain, and the stiffness, the tightness will melt in the sunshine. Just keep your right perspective of non-self. You are not the master of this body. You are a friendly knower, a humble knower, non-doing knower. Greed, aversion, and delusion is the doing of the mind out of ignorance. If we simply keep knowing the present moment, feeling the passing of time, we don't need to do anything. We just know as it is. And let the tired parts of the body take a rest. Knowing is effortless. Make sure you are relaxing the right object. You are to relax the brain or the body or the emotional stress. You are not to relax your awareness. Sometimes we'll be deluded and gradually relax our knowing, relax our awareness, and saying that I'm too relaxed, so I'm sleepy. We are relaxing with the right perspective, right view. Settling down our uh, body and mind is the preparatory stage for our Dhamma practice, for our learning the truth of this person, these five khandhas. Because when the five hindrances are too strong, just like the clouds covering up the moon, the mind is dark. We can't see anything. So we need to uh, let it settle down. Give it some time to settle down. And when we are feeling the passing of time, we are mindful at the present moment. Only when we are mindful in every moment, then we have the sense of time. We have the concept of time. Once we get lost in the past or in the future, in the memories, in the thinking, then the time stops. We don't have the sense of time passing. Once we can still feel the time passing away second by second, that means we are mindful, we are present. And the time is passing away like this, and this body is sitting here, breathing, taking a rest, and everything is happened in the time, in the ever passing away impermanence. Just leave the body here and take a rest, and open your heart, the center of your chest. Just leave it open, relaxed, and leave it there. The, the brain should be relaxed, the chest should be relaxed. Just keep it like this, and then we are just waiting for time to pass. The nature will cleanse your brain and heart. Feel every second. And you can use breathing as an object of reference. it is an easy reference for you to have the sense of time, a sense of ever passing away present moments. Just simply know this and learn how to do nothing. Let the body take a rest in the breathing. The whole body, including your mind, including your brain and your heart. Just like to unfold your brain and your heart, leave it open and relax. Be aware, don't be involved into the feelings. If you are tired, if you are sleepy, you can make this lower, smaller, make it as a tiny dust. Be humble. The more you can be humble, the easier you can keep your awareness. We are not to train ourselves to be a boxer. We are not to fight against anything, but we are to learn. Awareness has no enemy. But once you delude yourself into anything, any self-image, then your awareness descends to be something, to limit itself into something. Then you'll be covered up by the five hindrances. But once you can keep your right perspective, stay with the Dhamma, nothing can cover up this awareness. Because it is not to fight against anything, just to know everything is happening in the awareness. Awareness is the background of the whole universe. So what can be enemy against awareness? When you are agitated, the awareness is behind the agitation. When you are sleepy, the awareness is behind the sleepiness. It is the big background. Everything is happening inside awareness. And just like when you are watching a movie, and the whole movie happens in your awareness. But once you delude yourself as the main character of the movie, then you'll be affected by the movie. If you are not deluded, you are a watcher. Nothing in the movie can hurt the watcher. Separate the knowing from everything. And then feel the passing away of time. That is the meditation. Everyone can do this. just simply wait. Life is a process of waiting, waiting for death. If you are content, then you are happy. If you are not content, then you suffer. You choose yourself. But the nature is a process of waiting. So meditation is also a process of waiting. If you are content to the present moment, then you are happy. If you are not content, then you suffer from the meditation. Peacefulness or not peaceful, it's not the problem. They are just objects. If you are content, then you are happy. If you are not content to this, then you suffer. Try to wake up from the phenomena. Try to learn from the experience. You should make it clear what are we cultivating in the meditation. We are not to cultivate the breathing. We are not to cultivate the body or peacefulness. We are to cultivate the mind, to wake up the mind and make it wise. Learn from the reality. When you are peaceful, the time is passing away, second by second. If you are not peaceful, the time is also passing away, second by second. If you are mindful, then your awareness, and just like the time, it is neutral and it is embracing everything. It embraces even the five hindrances: the sleepiness, agitation, aversion, and sensual cravings. Everything is happening inside the awareness. Just like the movie in the cinema, it's happening in the watcher's consciousness. This is cultivating our wisdom, cultivating the ability to wake up from the delusion, to detach from the attachment. If our wisdom is strong enough, stable enough, then we simply do this. Just wait for the time to pass, doing nothing. We don't need any meditation skills. Be brave, open, and embrace the present moment, no matter what it is. Pleasurable or unpleasurable, desirable or undesirable, they are happening at this present moment, and they are passing away all the time. Everything is impermanence. Everything is ever changing. If things are not changing at all, then we don't have the concept of time. Accept of accept the unpeaceful mind and try to be with it without being deluded. Be patient and open to it. Remember to keep yourself humble, keep yourself tiny. This is a skill to maintain our awareness. When the brain is tired, we don't need to keep a strong awareness. Even the tiniest awareness is enough for the cultivation of mind. Just keep it continual, no matter how tiny it is. When the awareness is tiny, is humble, then the ego is tiny. When the mind is awake, then we don't need to rely on the peacefulness. Just keep the mind undiluted and know everything from the perspective of impermanence, suffering, and non-self. It is a good training for the mind to be with the five hindrances without deluded. Just face directly to the sufferings and be patient. Sometimes we also need to train our mind like this without peacefulness. Try how it feels different when the mind is protected by peacefulness. Then it's easy to do this. What if we don't have any peacefulness at all? Sometimes when there are too strong five hindrances, too strong obstacles from the body, serious sickness, we cannot be completely peaceful. And this is also necessary for us to train the mind in this way. When everything is chaotic, everything is a mess, how can we find the true refuge of mind? Peacefulness from meditation is not our refuge. The Dhamma is our refuge. So we stand with the Dhamma. Dhamma is the right perspective, the right view. Only this is reliable. even the 5 hindrances can be the meditation object. And this is part of the Dhammanupassana, mindfulness on Dhamma, because Dhamma can embrace everything. Time's up for this session. That means we're moving into the next session. You can open your eyes, move your body, and feel the passing away of time, the same. Bring your result of practice into your daily life. Number 13.
Good afternoon, Ajahn.
Good afternoon.
Okay, today my mindfulness is okay. I can listen to the Dhamma talk mindfully. The wandering thoughts is reduced. Today is okay. Because this morning actually I meditated for 2 hours, so that's right now it's like a continuation is quite okay.
Try to continue your mindfulness into your normal mode, not just in the closed-eyed mode. And this is more challenging and more meaningful to do. So you just move, live normally, just look around, move your body normally, and keep yourself at the present moment. And when we can keep our knowing in the present moment, then we can clearly feel the passing of time. And this person is living in this stream of time, right? So whatever we are doing, just look from this perspective. We don't need to intentionally looking for the breathing or the Buddha like this. Just make it natural. This person is living in the stream of time. Everything is passing away like this. So when we can wake up the knower in the meditation, then we can just let the mind be natural. Peacefulness or not is not important anymore. And it is even more precious to cultivate the mind in the scenario, the unpeaceful scenario. Sometimes we also need to learn how to face to the chaos, to the normal mind, the scattered mind. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
So that's why I said this is the second session of our meditation. It's just changing our mode. It's a moving meditation.
Yeah, I understand, because currently my body have pain, so it's also, I find that it forced me to cultivate a face with the pain. So yeah, just live with it, face with it.
Just wait with it, and it is passing away with the time. Everything is passing away in this way, right? Including our life, including our awareness. It's passing away every second. So when we can look from this perspective, our mind, our scope will be wider, and we can accept much more things in the world, good or bad, or desirable, undesirable, everything. The mind will be more neutral. Okay.
Thank you, Ajahn.
17.
Yeah, good afternoon, Ajahn. Today, a lot of wonder thoughts. Yeah. So going out, coming back, on and off. Yeah.
That's why I said today is a practice to face to the 5 instances. And because this is more important for us to practice this way. Otherwise, we'll break the practice and daily life into 2 pieces. They are the same. Meditation is to rest the mind, but the true battlefield is our daily life. We meditate for a better daily life, not live for a better meditation. And so now just come back to the present moment. Just simply feel the passing away of time. We don't need to do something more than this.
Ajahn, sometimes in mundane life, some decision making need to be made. So because sometimes like we have certain thing arise some emotion, then there's an action need to be done. So yeah, how to deal about that?
Just wait. Right? Because when we are deluded into the emotions, then we provide energy for the delusion, for the defilement, and that will make the situation worse. But when we can withdraw ourselves from this scenario, we just be a knower to everything. Then we can see things clearer.
Then we make decision.
Yeah, that's it. When our mind is controlled by the defilement, it's not suitable for us to make any decision. Even it may think in a seemingly reasonable way, but it's not trustable. And sometimes we need to change our perspective, wait for the time to pass. And when it settles down, then we can see things in a different way, a completely different way. Okay.
Yeah.
19. Number 19.
Hello, John. Good afternoon.
How is your meditation today?
It was not bad. I've taken a break a bit, so I'm coming back into it now. It was very relaxing, but a lot of thoughts jumping around. But yeah, I still managed to kind of reel it in. Yeah.
We relax the brain. You can pay a little bit more intention to do this. So in the meditation, under the background of breathing, pay attention to the brain and relax in the breathing. And do this until you feel you have a feeling that it seems that everything becomes smooth. or the whole brain, including the eyes, become relaxed, and sometimes you feel brightness in the brain area, and this is the situation when the brain is relaxed. When it is relaxed, then our awareness, it will be sharp. It's not agitated, it's cool and awake. Just simply do this practice as a way to rest the brain. Okay.
Okay.
Do this
Yeah.
once you have time. Just to do this. It's good to, if you can have a longer period when you become more and more familiar to the process of relaxation. It becomes quicker. It happens much faster. Keep it
Thank you.
every day.
Thank you.
Number 20.
Good afternoon, Ajahn and everyone. Today meditation is a bit challenging. Yeah, so I think might not be that mindful. Yeah, the heart started to attach to the pain. Yeah, and then challenging. I don't know how to say.
That's what I said. Sometimes when the meditation is not peaceful, but we are cultivating the mind the same way. It's not necessary to be peaceful every time. But when sometimes it's not peaceful, then what can we do?
Yeah.
How can we find the refuge for the mind? Only the Dhamma, only the reality. To see things as it is. Just accept everything and be a humble knower. Don't stand against the five hindrances. Just make yourself small, tiny, humble, and then we can see things as they are. The important thing is to reduce your own size. Usually, we have quite a big self-image. This is the ego, because we still think that we still believe that we are the master of this body or the brain, and I am meditating. I'm to make the mind peaceful. This is what is happening in our mind. We are still in the role of master.
True.
So try to identify this and give up such a role. Then the mind is free.
I'll do that.
This is cultivation of wisdom. Even when the mind is not peaceful, we can do this. But because we are not familiar with this now, so we find it difficult. And when the mind is peaceful, we find it easier to get into this state. But actually, peacefulness is not a necessary prerequisite. Okay.
So what if it's not peaceful and we already attached to the five khandra and started to have that kind of feeling? How do we, should we, because it's very fast, the thinking is like, should I observe? Should I not do? It is very fast, that kind of thinking process.
Once it happens, it's already in the past. You don't need to recall something from the past, right? So as what I said, just feel the passing of time. The time is passing every moment, passing away every moment, and we have no time to record. So no time to catch anything. Just keep knowing and letting go, knowing and letting go. When that thing has already happened, just let it go, forget it. Just pay attention to the present moment. Just feel the passing away of time.
So that's quite challenging because if we, yeah, I mean, I can see the scenario like, because we let go, we knowing it, and then the pain keep coming, and then knowing it keep coming in the pain. So is it the solution like that?
We reduce your size. When there are so many arrows in the battlefield, the smaller than you, the more beneficial will be. Well, you have less chance to be shot.
True. Yeah, I think it's the beginning that I never said it right. That before the meditation, it's just the view of when started meditate. Yeah, I think that is the I don't have a right view also.
There are two ways to cultivate. At the beginning, we may rely much more on peacefulness of mind. Then, when the problem is about agitation or sleepiness, then you can focus to relax the brain, just like letting the brain to take a sleep. Just let it sleep. It's not me. Let the brain take a sleep, and keep this for a period of time. Then we recover from the tiredness. It will cool down. And when the problem is about emotions, some liking or disliking emotions, then it's something about our the heart chakra, the area of the heart chakra. Just keep it open and relax, and release all the stress inside. And after a while, then you'll be balanced. This is some technique to balance the body and mind. But if we have enough mindfulness and wisdom, then we can directly face to it and do nothing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Yeah.
It's a good lesson today.
Yeah. Okay, Greg, are you leaving? Okay. Goodbye. And number 7. Number 7. Huh? You don't know your number.
Yeah, yeah, John. Today it was kind of normal for me, but just kind of many falls, and then I have
This is
also
normal for you.
yeah, and I think of the tiredness of the brains, and then also I can feel the anxiety inside myself, and then also trying to letting go of this. So it's still normal for me, and yeah. But I got a question for you, because you have mentioned when during the meditation you said we have to open our hearts. So what is the process? How do I feel I really I have opened my heart?
The first thing you need to find out where is the so-called heart. And this is emotional heart. It's the area when sometimes when we have strong emotions, anger or envy or strong cravings, we feel tension in this area at the center of the chest, right? Sometimes when we are angry, then we feel a force push from this area, push and direct up, go up to the brain, and make the brain completely become a blur and think a lot about that thing. This is the area, the center of the emotions. And but actually it's not the position of mind, but it's just kind of connection or corresponding reacting area to the emotions. But we can pay attention to this area in order to make it easier to identify the emotions. When this area is relaxed, then our emotion will be relieved. It makes it happen easier. So just like relaxing our brain, so with the breathing, we relax this area. Just like opening the doors and windows of the house, and just leave it there. And when the wind blows, the nature will carry the bad smells inside away. Our emotions just like the bad smells in the house, right? We keep all these bad smells in our heart. Just leave it open. And then after that, we just wait. Wait with mindfulness. Wait for the time to pass. So these are the way to deal with the 5 hindrances. When our wisdom is still weak, then we need to rely on these techniques. We need to make our mind become peaceful first. And then we can try to look from a new perspective. But the later is more important. And the observation from the new perspective is cultivating our wisdom. And when our wisdom becomes stronger, our meditation is easy. And sometimes we don't even need to have a peaceful mind. When it is not peaceful, we can also practice.
Okay.
Just keep up the practice,
Okay.
and try to live in a simpler life.
Yes.
Okay, this
Okay,
is
thank you.
very important for our meditation.
Thank you.
And who else? Number 4.
Oh, good afternoon, Ajahn.
Ah.
I have a question for you. Just now you say talk about time is a concept. Yeah? And then time is a concept is for us only, is it? For those who have already got nirvana, they don't have any concept about time, is it like that?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Because time is a concept from the phenomena of changing.
Yeah.
When there's changing, then we have the concept of time. When everything is not changing, we don't have the concept of time, because this concept is meaningless. So the changing is sankhara. It's either physical changes or mental changes, and this gives us the concept of time, give us the sense of time. If everything is not changing, then there's no time. If you can feel the passing away of time, that means we are feeling the changes, the impermanence.
Yeah, because we still are in this world, we are still got our habit and karma, so we will feel this kind of time. And beside for whatever you said is everything is inside the awareness. It's really true, everywhere is inside the awareness. And then for me, I just because I know that it's difficult to let it go. For me, I got something realized that my fault or all the illusion because of my habit. Usually in the past, I always realized like that. And after I got this realization, and as well as I realized everything is so changing so fast outside, and I don't need to be attached on everything outside because it's changing all the time. How can be I attached to it? And then if I attach to it, it will cause me suffering. And after realization of this, as well as my habit, and I really easy to let the thought easily let it go, really better. And this is only my my realization. I think this really helped me a lot. And besides, in the past, you know me well. I always, I always cannot cut my temper. I always want to say something is I think is not fair. But now I don't have this kind of emotion because I think there's nothing
Everything is
right.
impermanent.
Yeah, and nothing is yes or nothing is right or wrong because everybody the habit is different. For what they're thinking is different, and there's no point to argue because he got his own thinking. I got my own thinking. That's it. And then like the like everything in the this world, everything is having their own rules, and then doesn't matter. It's got our own habit. That's it. So I don't need to argue with them.
Yeah,
And
because
it's really
everything is conditional,
yeah,
and not constant.
yeah, and it's really helped me a lot for the time being, and as well as you are really a good teacher to me, a great teacher for me. Every time I have a lesson with you, I realize something every time. And then this time I understand for us, time is a concept. I really realize about that. It's only for us, time is a concept. Actually, there's no time here in this world.
They are only
Thank you.
changings.
Yeah, because it's only changing. Thank you. Thanks a lot, Ajahn. Really, thanks a lot for all your teaching. Really.
Okay, then who want to report voluntarily? Oh, okay, number 3.
Good afternoon. And today my meditation, I think it's quite good because Ajahn's teaching was. It seems to be at the background, but I'm just relaxing myself very well, and I'm mindful all the way. But one question that I would like to ask is that yesterday Ajahn taught me that the Buddhism teaching, the Dharma teaching, is training the 5 khandhas. Is that right? Is that what you have been said yesterday? The teaching.
How to train the 5 khandhas?
Yes. 你話其實我哋咧係嗰個五蘊係而家係訓練緊個五蘊，其實嗰個禪修係訓練個五蘊嘅，係咪啊
？No. Meditation is to cultivate our mind, and there are different levels of such cultivation. Cultivating the mind to be peaceful, and cultivating the mind to be awake, cultivating the mind to be wise. That means to see things as they are, undiluted. This is cultivation of mind. And meditation, or actually our whole life, the whole path of precepts, samadhi, and wisdom is to cultivate this mind. 5 khandhas is just the elements from the nature. They never belong to us. They belong to the nature. And what we are cultivating the mind is to realize that we are not the master. We cannot own this body. We cannot own this mind. And this is such realization will teach us to let go. And because of such a let go, we will be freed from the sufferings. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, maybe I make a mistake. Yesterday I heard something in which make me feel very rare is not. So I just bring back the question to you today to confirm. Heard it wrong.
I don't think that I said meditation is to cultivate the 5 khandhas. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Ajahn, may I add something here?
Okay.
It may possibly that Ajahn was saying that there's no one who is actually practicing. It's only the 5 khandhas just doing its own.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
Yes, that's the point. Yeah.
It's not me who is practicing, but this body and mind, or this 5 khandhas practicing.
Can you say a little bit more about the 5 khandhas practicing?
5 khandhas or you can simply understand as this body and mind, nama rupa, right? Or the 6 elements. So what we perceive as me, actually a group of elements. So it is not me who is practicing, but this group of elements, or this group of 5 khandhas is practicing, right? Do you understand? So when this body is sitting here and breathing, it's not me sitting here, but this body. But the earth, water, fire, and wind elements is sitting here and breathing. It's a perspective describing the perspective of non-self. Just change the concept. Don't think that I am practicing, but this person or this 5 khandhas is practicing.
Yeah.
Okay. 20, number 20.
Ajahn, okay, because of we are discussing about this 5 khandhas, I have this silly thinking. Is like, so if this we are discovering about these 5 khandhas, so we understand the body and mind is non-self. What if, can I assume, or maybe I have this silly thinking, is like the tree, do they have 5 khandhas because they can grow, they breed, they bear fruits? Can I say so?
But obviously they don't have nervous system, and seemingly they cannot think.
They cannot think, but do they have? I guess that they should have the same elements like us have the earth, water.
Yeah, the 4 elements, at least they have these 4
right?
elements, right? But the consciousness element, maybe they have some of it, but they don't have the complete functions like human being. Right?
So do they have a 5 khandhas?
Depend, but they don't have the sankhara or sanya. That means the function of the brain, right? This is only for those higher animals who has a brain and nervous system. So it is quite true that the trees cannot think, right? And I'm not sure whether they can remember things like us, but even they cannot think. So at least they are not complete in the 5 khandhas.
So the most important thing is more towards the sankhara because of this 5 khandhas that make
because we have the sanya, the memory or the perception, then we can have wisdom. Only the beings, sentient beings with the perception like this, and they can cultivate wisdom. This is a word from Sariputta in the sutras. So that there are some beings don't have sanya, like a deva being in the which don't have a sanya asanya being. So they cannot cultivate wisdom. They have the shape, they have the form, but they don't have the sanya. But they are quite high being, high deva in the Brahma's level. but they cannot cultivate wisdom.
Wow. Oh, okay.
Because when,
discovering.
yeah, like when we can understand the Buddha's teaching, we need to have perception. We need to have the ability to understand the concepts of the Four Noble Truths, right? And this is quite impossible for the trees to do this.
Yeah, they can't, but they grow.
But they
bear
can
fruits.
understand like this. And also the animals, even they have the five khandhas, but they don't have such ability to understand like this.
Because they don't have panya, no wisdom.
Even they may have certain level of understanding ability. They have the perception, they have the thinking ability, but that the function cannot compare to a human being.
Okay. So that's why it's not easy to be born as a human being.
Yeah. Human being is quite profound being.
Yes. Thank you, Ajahn. Trying to discover more. Thank you. Sorry, silly question.
No, not silly. It is quite true that the trees may also have feelings, sensations, because then someone will can discover this from some research. They measure the energy fluctuation of the trees. They found that the tree did have reactions to some stimulus. That means they may have some kind of maybe unconscious feelings, unconscious reactions. But quite obviously, they cannot have a strong consciousness faculty like human.
Yeah, human more complicated, I think.
Okay, so any more questions? 11.
Hi, Ajahn. I'm asking a questions about actually it's not my questions, but it's also my questions. Anyway, a few days ago that why are you so happy? Like a few days ago, I Dharma friend asked me a questions because he's a painter. Yeah. So he asked that is Buddhism against artistic creation or art in general?
Well, art may have different forms and or different levels, right? So first, it's quite difficult to define what is art. And can you say the meditation is kind of art? If it is, then we are doing meditation. So we are artists. We are Buddhist artists. Yes.
It's not a spiritual way. It's actually like more practical, like artistic creation, like painting, even writing or composing some musical pieces, like that. Like in a
I
creation.
think the behavior or the the artist creation is not the important part, but what is your mental state when you are creating all this? Uh, when you are drawing or painting, what what is what are you to express in by this piece of work? If you are expressing some kind of a very spiritual mental state, or it's kind of or emptiness or about the Dhamma, then it is practicing. It is Dhamma practice. But if it is simply saying something of lower level, then it's not. Because there's so many kinds of arts in the world, and some are not wholesome, some are wholesome. It depends on the mental state. It's a kind of wholesome mental state or unwholesome mental state. How to know what is wholesome and unwholesome. Wholesome mental state will make our mind free from the defilement, make our mind awake. And unwholesome mental state is the opposite. Some kind of work simply make us more deluded, but some kind of art piece will make our mind more awake. So it is the mental state encounters, not the piece of work.
So when we, like for example, when we paint or any other art form, that when we need to create, we need passion. We need like to have that passion.
Yes.
You need to have that craving, like loving something or some anger that you want to express. So in most of the cases, that artistic creation is kind of like like the main or sign product of passion of the artist.
But there is wholesome passion and unwholesome passion.
Yeah, but how do? But like
if it is like kind of reinforcing the ego or creating kind of self-image, and this is unwholesome, obviously, right? Because this will make yourself more deluded into the world. Some kind of creating a self-image of a tragic hero. People will gain satisfaction from doing this, but this is not wholesome in the practice, because this is reinforcing this ego. For some creations which will arouse the wholesome mental state in the creator or the audience or the people who are watching this, and this is wholesome. So it's the mind matters.
Yeah, so that's what I thought as well. That's what I like answered, kind of like answered to my friend. But then I have another question. It's like in Buddhism we said sorry, I don't know the term in Pali nor English, like jojo. Jojo is make you like don't have that intention to do something.
Fabrication.
Yeah. So no matter that the fabrication is wholesome or unwholesome, it seems that Buddha could against that, because which produce kind of like the cause for Yao. Like that's the Yan Yuan, that's the cause of our suffering, and which are also the cause for us to fall into that eternal samsara. So is wholesome and or unwholesome could determine like could determine why that jojo is a good thing or a bad thing, or
just like our thinking is also kind of application, is a kind of creation, but it has wholesome thinking and unwholesome thinking. And the right thinking is to think about the way to free from the sensual craving, is to think about non-harming other people, think about not non-aversive. These are the wholesome way of thinking, and it is also a kind of application, but it is wholesome. Sankhara simply means mental formation, or someone translating the fabrication also. But and all kinds of doing is kind of application. So what decides whether it is wholesome or unwholesome? We should look at whether it is leading us to free from the suffering, or it is leading us to go deeper into the suffering.
so so wholesome is okay, like to have a wholesome, okay, to have some applications is okay.
Wholesome thinking will make our mind peaceful.
But like in nirvana, the eternal target of our study and practice.
And finally, all the applications disappears.
No applications and nothing, like kind of like emptiness, like the so.
Because Visankhara is another name for Nibbana. Visankhara means that non-fabrication. So this is the name of Nibbana, or just like Santi. Santi means peacefulness, complete peacefulness. It's also another name for Nibbana.
So
they are described in the Nibbana. Yeah.
Yeah. So not even something wholesome shouldn't be there. Like.
Yeah. It goes beyond wholesome and unwholesome because all these cannot exist. No concept is there. But even in the highest meditative absorption, there's still sankhara. The sankhara is there. Otherwise, we cannot live.
Yeah. So instead of doing I'm sorry. So instead of doing something unwholesome, that we should do something wholesome instead of unwholesome. If we have a chance, that should we choose to do nothing at all, like not even something wholesome, it's like totally emptiness, really nothing at all. Should we?
If we can directly go into complete emptiness, we don't need to practice. We are now practicing to doing something for non-doing, right? Because we need to do this. We need to go through the process of disdoing, and finally you can be non-doing. So disdoing is still a kind of doing.
So are we trying, like, our practice, is it like training our mind and maybe the body as well to do something wholesome?
Yes.
Instead of unwholesome, so as to replace the game, and like so as to replace the whole unwholesome mind and activities, because we simply doing nothing. So instead of continuing to doing something unwholesome, we just try to do something wholesome. Is it
yes
process that we
mindfulness is a wholesome doing. It is sankhara. Samadhi practice is wholesome doing also. Precept, samadhi, wisdom are also some kind of wholesome doing. But we need this to achieve the non-doing.
So how about the like we talk about the plant, like trees, like flowers, grasses. We talk about that sometimes ago, a long time ago. Like me too. I have a feelings with some plants. I think I don't know. I still feel that they are not just existing. They are, maybe they are not essential beings, but they are there. They are their lives. So
Their lives, yes, of course, but they are not sentient being. What decides is a sentient being or not is about the feeling, the feeling of suffering and happiness. But they have different reactions in energies, but doesn't mean that they have such kind of feeling. So they don't have the feeling of suffering.
Yeah, so they are lives.
Yeah.
But they don't have, I suppose they don't have any wholesome or unwholesome minds, for example. So are they in a form of like ideal life form, because they are not close, like maybe they're not nirvana yet, but they are closer to nirvana than us.
So you can try to plunge yourself into the earth and try and tell me the answer. But they are still living. They're still living, and at least they are still a form of application. It's not a complete santit. You cannot compare to a nibbana being.
Okay, enough waste of your time for today. Thank you very much, Ajahn. That's all the questions that I would like to ask. Thank you.
Okay. 14.
Good afternoon, Ajahn.
Yes.
I'd like to ask, sometimes during meditations, there's there's you can feel the chi moving. You call it hay, is it? Like tiny little hay moving, and what you know? what do we do? We just ignore it, or
just ignore it because we are not practicing the qigong now, right? But if we can simply relax, and the qi will know how to do the good thing for your body, because it is natural. We don't need to control it, because actually qi is everywhere. It's always working in the body, but usually we are not aware of this. And when we are more relaxed, then the mindfulness is sharper. Then we can feel something subtler in the body. It is the wind element or fire element in the body. They are working in their ways. Just let them be. And we are cultivating the mind. Yeah.
okay. So you just ignore them, and so this
just things.
Because like sometimes it's just like moving around your chest or body, So,
if they are not so distracting, then just ignore it.
But sometimes it could be quite distracting.
If it is distracting, then you can relax the emotion, intention. When the emotion is unstable, then the qi is also unstable. And when the emotion is completely neutralized, then stillness will happen. Mental stillness will lead to the stillness of energy too. Yes, 15.
I got a question for today. In today's meditation, when I follow your all the instructions, I come to one stage towards the end, was that the mind. The mind was I think aware, but I aware of all the things, but at the same time, there was no thoughts and nothing. So I just know very subtle the feelings somewhere here and there, but there is a brightness that comes in the mind. But this brightness is a very very like blurry mind brightness. It's not the normal brightness that we have when our mind is very calm. So I just wondering whether this is the brightness or is it again a mind.
So you can relax the brain and let the brain recharge the energy, and the brightness will be stronger. It is a natural phenomenon, and it simply means that the mental energy is quite enough when it is very bright, because consciousness is the light itself. If the consciousness is strong, then the brightness will be strong. So that's the natural phenomenon. When we are cultivating the mind, not the consciousness energy. It is an element. Consciousness is an element in this person, but we are not to cultivate the energy. We are cultivating the mind, cultivating the wisdom. This is more important.
So it doesn't matter whether it's clear or not clear.
Yeah, they are impermanent. Just like the body, sometimes it is healthier, sometimes it's not that healthy. What can we do? We are not cultivating the health. We meditate to cultivate the mind, to cultivate the wisdom.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Ajahn.
Any more questions? 20.
Ajahn, so just now you're saying that when everything is not changing, we don't have a concept of time. So if we refer to this, right, can we say that if there's no concept of time, can I assume that it might reach the stage of stillness, meaning nothing had changed, or
the changes is always there, unless you are nibbana, in the nibbana, and also without body, physical body, because even in the deepest absorption, jhanic absorption, the brain wave is still working. But maybe they are slower or have a lower lower frequency, or sometimes a strong concentration, the higher frequency. They're still working. The brain wave is the sankara, it's the activity of the brain, right? That means our mind is still working. It's not complete elimination. It's not complete cessation. But maybe we still have the concept time, but it seems to be much shortened. That's why when we wake up from the meditation, we think that just several minutes, but actually several hours, or say even 7 days, right? But we still have the concept of time. We still can feel there's a certain amount of time passed.
Okay. So you're saying that if you can feel the passing of time, there's still a changing. Meaning from there, right? We're referring to, we can assume that this is anicca. I mean, when
because everything is changing.
So
it's
okay,
constant.
So can I say that for anicca, dukkha, anatta, meaning that be it we are doing the meditation or in our life, we just need to constantly cultivate our mind to look into this and exactly it happen, so that our mind may rise the wisdom to understand that.
Yeah, the mind will learn from the observation. But in order to keep a constant observation like this, we need to cultivate mindfulness. And a stable mindfulness need to have the support of samadhi. And a stable samadhi need to have the support of precepts.
Yeah, that's true. That's
the whole path. We cannot ignore any part of it.
Correct. Without a precept, I think it's very hard to, especially to have that kind of can't say peacefulness, but it's pretty fast for the heart, for the mind to settle down. Yeah,
we need certain level of certain level of peacefulness, but we are not cultivating for the peacefulness. It is the part of the path. Just like we cultivate precepts, but precept is not our ultimate goal, right?
But it's a part of the holy life that do not, you won't commit that unnecessary, unwholesome thing.
Yeah, they are the path leading to wisdom, leading to the cessation.
Yeah, that's true. That I encounter that. That's why I think minimally to keep a 5 precept minimally as a. So
it's a lower limit.
Yeah, because sometimes working in Singapore, I think sometimes people they perceive, they look at the appearance of this. So sometimes I toggle between the worldly life working or to internal development of that kind of mindfulness or whatever. I think I need to balance both. So sometimes I felt that it's quite silly I do such a thing, in this life, but when meditate, I also do understand that why I need to do such things. So as long as I know that I do not commit that unwholesome thing.
Yeah, we work and we need to live relying on the 4 requisites. Right? Everyone needs this, even the monks. And we work for maintaining this life, for providing the proper conditions to cultivate the mind. And if we keep this perspective, and then we know what it is, what is important, what is not important.
Yeah, true. So, Ajahn, last question is, if I do read some sutta, or maybe some of the master ever say that even 7 days, 7 months, 7 years, or whatever, we are still able to achieve that kind of entry stream level. So since we are not to practice in a monastery, so if we continue to practice, keep the precept, and constantly to follow the the path. Possible we have that kind of chance to enter the first stream in this life, because I do encounter after the retreat of 10 days retreat, when do the vipassana. I mean, that is from my first beginning, because I just practiced meditation for last 3 years only. So I encounter it, like even walking meditation, I also can see my whole body. So I drag my body and body is sleeping. I just drag the body to walking meditation. So from the 10 days meditation, I realized that when I reach home, I can see in people before they talk, we really can know, understand. Before their thoughts arise, we know that exactly they want to ask, or we see the things is they move so slower, or the car, the people. So I found that is it some kind of, because our mental, is it a sati that is faster than the world moving, that we see things is like they are slower?
Yes, because our awareness is strong. And this is nothing surprising, because things are happening in this way. When our mindfulness is stronger, then we will see things clearer, and we'll be more sensitive. But this the sensitivity towards external things is not important. Be sensitive to your own mind, to your own defilement. This is more important, because this will help you to free from the suffering. But being sensitive to other people, to the external environment, is meaningless. And sometimes we will get lost, deluded, thinking that I'm so great. I have such an ability, that ability.
It may go into that kind of level, so have to be careful.
And when our mind is familiar, going outside, going external, to feel other people's mind, or to feel some message externally, then our mind, it's difficult to come back back to these 5 khandhas. And the field of practice is to be in this 5 khandhas, to be in the 4 satipatthanas, our own body, our own feeling, our own mind, and the Dhamma, not other people's body and mind.
That was beginning when I started learn meditation. But during the meditation, also can see the mind is like a wiring. It connect to each other. You can see the sparks.
When our interest goes to other people, then our mindfulness goes to other people.
So
but if we are so familiar to this, we used to this, then it's difficult to change the mode back to our own satipatthana. Sometimes it's quite dangerous, because sometimes if we practice this too much, then we'll be so sensitive to other people, and it's very easy to switch the mode to the external people. Because everything is habit. If we practice in this way, then this will grow stronger. Practice that, then that will grow stronger. But the Buddha teaches us to focus on this handful leaf, not the leaves in the forest. There are so many things in this world, but comparing to this handful of leaves, is not important.
Understand. Okay. I mean that was an experience. That was an experience.
And there are examples. People were so interested in knowing other people's thoughts, and finally they become crazy. When they look at when they look at the monkey, and they directly copy the monkey's mind into his own mind, and he can climb the trees like the monkey. And when he look at the cows, he directly copy the cow's mind, and they eat grasses too. This is a real case. When they are so deluded into connecting or copying other people's mind, and this will happen. They completely lose their mindfulness on their own.
I think the objective of practicing the Dharma have to be that clear. Am I right? Say that no, because I constantly found that the only truth is to eliminate this suffering. That's why I decided that this is the only path.
Yeah. You apply our mindfulness on our own mind, on our own being, this body, this feeling, and the mind.
But why Ajahn, every time when the last few months that I used to cry that much, because it's always think of this anatta, that the heart cannot take it, because it just like I mean I'm over the period but still learning
just like a piece of ice, just expose it under the sun, then it will melt itself. It takes some time. So when the ice is melting, and the water is dropping out from your eyes.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Right. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. No question. Thank you, Ajahn.
Any more questions? So let's end the session.
Okay, so before we end it officially, let us bow 3 times all together to the triple gem. Ajali, Vandana, Vandana, Ajali, Vandana, Vandana, Ajali, Vandana, Vandana, Ajali, Vandana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining today, and looking forward to
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Sifu. Thank you
Thank you,
all.
Ajahn.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ajahn, and everyone. Thank you.